Hi, welcome to lesson 6 of week 1 of Julia Programming for Nervous Beginners. In this lesson we look at the escape sequences that you can use to make string literals. And so our aim is to understand what an escape sequence is, to learn the escape sequence backslash double quote. We need to explain the difference between a string with an escape sequence and its formatted appearance. We need to learn the escape sequence backslash n, the escape sequence backslash t, and the escape sequence backslash backslash. So after this lesson, you will be able to say why the characters dollar and backslash behave oddly when used to make a string value in Julia. You'll be able to define an escape sequence in Julia. You'll be able to understand that formatting a string with an escape sequence gets rid of the escape sequence itself. And you will effectively use the escape sequences backslash double quote, backslash n, and backslash t. And you will understand that backslash can be used to escape itself. So let's look at these two characters, dollar and backslash. Say I want to make a string just containing dollar. And it tells me I've got something it calls interpolation syntax, which is not part of the lesson today. I could also try and use a backslash, and now something odd happens here. It seems to think that the input is not complete. So indeed it isn't. I'm not going to go on to that whole story right. Okay. So what we want are strings like these, and what you see is different from what you type. That is, the characters that you type in are not the characters that the string, once it is formatted, will contain. So it'll take us 2 lessons. We'll first look at escape sequences, and in the second lesson we will look at string interpolation. The escape sequences involve backslashes, and the string interpolation involves the dollars. Okay, so as you've seen, there's a difference between the string hello world with its double quotes, and if we print that very same string, so this is exactly the same, then when we print it, we don't see the double quotes. Okay, so let's just see that. If we have, this is something you've seen many times before, the string hello world echoes back exactly. But if we put this inside println, then it comes up with a slight difference. There's a slight formatting that's happened in that when we actually want to see a display of the string itself with no extras at all, then even the delimiters that we use to define the string, that is, the double quotes, are suppressed. In Julia, all escape sequences start with a backslash, and a very useful one is backslash double quote. So let's try and say we want to see this string. We want to get that as a formatted string, so we want to see the double quotes, but we want to see the double quotes around hello world. We don't want to see the double quotes that we would need for the whole thing. So if we try this quote, so I'm going to println an x, and before that I'm going to say x is equal, and now I want to say he said hello world. That's what I want x to be, but I want this to be the whole string, so I'm going to try and put double quotes around the whole of the string hello world. That actually seems like a reasonable thing to try and do, doesn't it? But this is exactly the sort of thing that one has to think about, and you have to think about Julia as a formal language in the sense of formal logic, and then we can see that actually it's not going to be what we want. We get an error. It says that we are trying to juxtapose a string literal. So Let's do that. Here's x equals, so x is a variable name, that's perfectly fine. Assignment operator, perfectly fine. We open a string with double quotes, that's fine. He said, comma, space. And then we close the string with double quotes. So the first string that we have formed is this string here. And then immediately afterwards, we have an H. And so we get that. So that is how Julia works. Julia basically is watching. When you start a string, it watches for when the string closes, and then it says, okay, now the string is closed, I need for some new code to start up, and the new code can't be just something like this. If you basically it's a character, so it's thinking that we're trying to juxtapose a string that will with another character or a name, and it says we can't do that. We need an operator or something else. So Julia gives us a thing. If we put a space or a delimiter, we would see a different error message. Let's see if we put a space there, what comes up. It said there's an extra token. So it's not it doesn't think of it as juxtaposition, it thinks of it as an extra token. If we put a delimiter there, we put say a comma there, a comma. Well, that's very odd. We can put the opening of a parenthesis there, and oh dear, that seems very odd. So there are lots of different things that can happen after you've finished the string, and all of them are going to be errors unless you very deliberately know what you're doing. But it's not important for us to know what all the errors are. The important point is that if we try to put double quotes inside another string, the moment we put these double quotes here, this is a completed string. If we wanted to these double quotes to appear as literal double quotes, and instead of being the delimiters of a string, then we have to escape them by putting a backslash in front. Okay, so I can go back up to that line, and I put a backslash there, and I put a backslash there. And that is then what we want, except that there's a space. So let me take that space out. It's ugly to me. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. Let's just see what the string x itself looks like. So the string x, when it is not being formatted by println, contains the backslashes, the escape, double quote, escape, double quote. That is actually built into the string x. It's only when it is being formatted, say by println and the other Julia commands, functions, which also format strings, and so they would also turn it into something like this. It can be displayed, but the string itself doesn't do the formatting. Okay. Now there are two more escape sequences we want to talk about in this lesson. That is \n and \t. So if we \n, then it gets onto a new line. So let's just modify this one. Instead, we take out the he said, and we put a /n there, we take out that backslash, and we do that. And now we see that after this comma space, and then breaks onto a new line, and of course println always puts a blank line in. So here's a nice piece of doggerel. I've actually done it before, so I can give you that. And at the end of it, I want to say, so I have this line of doggerel, I have these places where I want to break it, and there's a nice little poem for you. Errors are red, some things are blue. I love coding, and so should you. So the sequence \t puts an empty space, so that tab example, and what's happening here is I've got two \t's in here. I actually didn't want you to show you the double example. So there's the one tab. And you see that with two tabs it's that much, with one tab it's that much. So let's combine it. Here's tab stops. I want to put in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then an N, and then the weight. So before this, I say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the first. So I don't want the 0 there. I have. That's the first space, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I put N and see what happens. And now I see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the W is under the 9. So the tab stop filled it up from 1 to 8, and then we started with a W at 9. So all the tab spaces are 8 characters wide, and the shift is just towards the next one. So here I put in up to 20 and up to 30. So let's do that. 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. And I say, I will just sit here and. Okay. So this is just to make sure that I fill it up beyond the 8. And what has happened is that it actually is far too long. Let me just replace that and with an ampersand. So the ampersand character, that works fine. And now it's brought it in a long way. So this one, this is 30, 31, 32. This is under 33. This one is under 25. So we see, again, that those multiples of 8 are where the tab stops get to, and then we start the next one after 9. If we have double tabs, we've seen already that that puts in just extra tabs. And the last thing of all, we want to escape the escape itself. And so let's have the / example where we say /EG equals 1 /4 is 1, and then I want it /4, but that is will try to get me to escape the 4. So to see what happens, to make it a real /, I have to put a / in front of it 4, and then I can println /EG. And now it says 1 /4 is 1 /4. So that is, let's make sure that it actually is an error if we don't put that in. Well, the /4 does seem to be a character of some sort, so you can escape 4 and get something else, but this particular system doesn't display it. Okay, so the characters / and $ are special. They don't appear in a formatted string if you simply type them in. If you want to see a quote and a /, there you escape them with a / double quote and a /. If you want to insert a line break, it's /n. And if you want to insert a tab stop, which is 8 spaces on from the previous tab stop, not from where you are, use the escape sequence T. And by this I mean not the previous stop that you actually used, but the previous stop, which is a multiple of 8. And so that's what we have about escape sequences in this lecture. There are a few more escape sequences possible in Julia, as we saw, but they're certainly not part of this course. Thank you, and let's go on to lesson 7.